Okay, let's turn this thing on. All seems well now, right? Okay. Now normally you should be able to handle this, carry it around, and gently put it down on the table without having the thing go crazy and giving you high readings. Well, there's something loose inside here, and I'm going to attempt to look at it and see if I can see something. No guarantee I can do anything with it, but we'll give it a try. And that's about all I can do. Now, as you can see, the readings are, well, it's fading out again, so I'm going to have to get my glasses on and look at what it's doing here. It's 12, okay. Okay, so I found out that I was reaching under a shelf with this the other day in the shop just to see if there was anything old that I had in the shop that may be radioactive, which it is not. However, I bumped it gently, very gently, onto the shelf. Probably, now you see? That's not normal. The only way to stop it is to shut it off. Put it back on and all is fine. Just a gentle, just on this cloth. That's all it took. Turn it back on. All is well. So we're going to open this up. Shut it off. Let's see what we got here. Gotta take the battery out first. I just want to see if I got a screwdriver that'll fit. This seems to be it. It's an 18500, I believe. Put that over here. Get the okay. We got to get the monsters out here so I can see what I'm doing here. These are the monsters. I think it's 5X is the highest this will go. Now I'm just going to look at it. If I think it's going to be something that I wouldn't attempt to do, in other words, if I can see something that's loose in there, that's fine. But if it's something that I can't see, it might even be the Geiger tube itself. Maybe a loose element in the tube. I'm not sure how they work. I never really studied them, to tell you the truth. Now, I got this at a good price on eBay. However, it did this. So I wrote the seller and told him what it was doing. And as an individual seller, it wasn't a, one of them companies that sell these things. It was individual. In other words, a person like you and me that really sells things online occasionally. And he wanted a picture of what it was doing, so I sent him a picture of what it was doing. And he says, no problem, I'll give you a full refund. And that's what he did. He didn't have another one. So, that's what we've got in here. Alright, so what I am going to do now is to put the battery in. Now, I'm using a plastic pointer here. This happens to be just a artist paintbrush. Plastic handle. There should be high voltage from here to here. This is the Geiger tube right here. And it just held in like with like a spring contact or something. What I'm going to do is put the battery back in and then tap in here somewhere. Because when you tap on the front of it here, there's something loose in here, but what it is I don't know, and I'm not about to take the board out and go any further. So everything that's here is all I'm going to be looking at, because my eyes don't permit me to work on this stuff. I mean, with magnification, if there's a broken solder joint in here or in here, I'll be able to probably deal with it. In a sense, it didn't cost me anything. The guy did not want it back, because it's no good to him, and it would cost him more to have it fixed than it would be worth. And I got this at half price, basically, because it was a pre-owned unit. But cosmetically, it's in real good shape, and it does work if you handle it with kids' gloves. You see what you do, just a little tap like that. So if you're walking along with this thing, and you happen to gently bump it, and I don't mean bang it hard or drop it, I'm talking about bumping, it could go up on you, but then you'd have to turn it off and turn it back on. So there's something loose in here, whether it's the element in here that looks like a big fuse. I don't understand how these work. I'm sure you people out there that are familiar with these know how they work. My eyes would never permit me to be able to do that, but I understand you can change the Geiger tube in these things. But however, we're going to put the 1800 battery back in, and we have to make sure that it is positive over here. So we'll put that in here. Okay, and we'll make sure it's making good contact. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. Okay. All right, it's clicking, and we're going to we'll hold the case here, and we'll move this. There is something loose in the board. However, I can't see it. You need a microscope to work on this. There it goes. Okay. All right, so right now it's normal background it's picking up. I know you can't see it because I got upside down here, but there's something is loose in this end here, which I suspected it could be the solder connections. Now, off camera, I'll see if I can get my eyelope in here and read this, because I can't. I have to have my head like this, and all you're going to do is see the back of my head, so that's not going to be a very good video. So, now, I'll hold this and push down on the rest of the board here. Obviously, any vibration sets it off. It makes it click more. I don't know what the voltage is from here to here. There's a alarm here. This might be another one here. I don't see a step-up high voltage transformer. I think I had, back in the 60s, I got it from Olson Electronics, I think, but I'm not sure. Back in the very early 60s, 61, 62, I got a Victorine, I believe. It's a yellow one with a handle on it, and it took, I believe, a 22.5 volt battery or 45 volt battery, and of course I didn't have the battery, and I don't know, I got it real cheap. That was years ago. If I can get keep my head from going in here. I'm trying to move this without, and my thing keeps slipping off of it. I don't want to make a vibration. I want to just see if there's a connection. It seems to be, maybe that's normal, because if you take one of these no contact voltage sensors that you've seen to check, whether there's power in a power line, if you just tap the thing like that, it'll go off. So it might work on the same principle as that. I don't really know too much about these things at all. I'm learning and watching videos and stuff on them, but I wasn't going to open it up, but I figured this is easy because I can close it right up and not a problem. I'm not going to take the board out because I'll have the buttons all out over the bench and I'll never get them back in. I'm trying to gently pry and move that. I think it's the tube. I think it's the vibration. There may be the element, whatever this element is that looks like a fuse that goes right across. And maybe there's a disconnect at one end or the other. I'm more inclined to believe at this end. There's more sensitive at this end than it is over here. So, trying to keep my fingers out of the view here. I mean, if I had good eyesight and more patience than I have now, I would open this and see what I can do. But I don't know anything about this, what I call microelectronic stuff here. Now, I mean, I can do like if there's a break in the circuit board or something, I could see it. But with my eyes now, these days, no. So, let's see if I can do a little tap here. Very gently. I still think it's something in the tube because each time you tap it, the light comes on over here. Here it goes. Okay. We'll take out the battery. Off camera, I'll inspect this, but I don't expect any results. So don't get your hopes up. Okay, I couldn't find any anything like there's a spring that winds around and goes into the threads. It's like a screw-in tube. And this seems to be here, this deposit here seems to be tube-based cement, it looks like to me. There's a little thing inside there, so I'm thinking this wire goes through here, and there's a little sleeve, a glass sleeve that goes into something else, which I can't quite tell what that is. And the brake could be in this here. I think it's at this end. But the wire that wraps around, it's like a stainless steel wire that goes around here on the threads, and you might be able to see it. I don't think I can zoom it in anymore without out of focus. That's probably about it, because I'm pretty close here. I'm using a JVC camera. You probably can't see it, but right down where the pointer is down there, that's soldered onto the board, and I wiggle this back and forth. It's not loose here. So it could be in the Geiger tube itself. So with that in mind, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with it. And in order to get the Geiger tube out, you'd probably have to unsolder the spring that goes in here and that same way at the other end. And I'm not going to do that. Now let me turn this around. Maybe you can get a better view of it. I don't know. But you can see this wire goes around here. It's open at this end. There's a little piece sticking up over here. You may or may not be able to see it. And it's soldered right here. And this seems to be good. This is solid. I looked down under my eye lobe, illuminated eye lobe, and it doesn't seem to be any bad solder connections or anything. I'm not even going to attempt to put my soldering iron in there because I'll probably short the damn board out. because I don't have the eyes to do this stuff. Now, I don't know if you can see the other end, but I'll try to get you down to the other end here. And you can see how that is. And that, when I tapped on that, it wasn't as sensitive. It did set it off, but not to the point where the alarms are going off. You can see, again, there's like a sleeve it goes into and then goes in here. So there could be a connection. It could be the tube itself. And that might be. But the guy was kind enough to give me a full refund, so I can't complain about it. And do I need something like this? No. You know, when you get old, you like to play with your adult toys. And I guess this can be classified as an adult toy. Anyways, I'll probably put this video up just for entertainment. So, that's about it. We'll end this video very soon. All right. Yeah, we'll put these back. Screw over here. We'll do a crisscross here. We'll finish this off camera because all you're going to do is see the back of my head or my hands. Okay, we ready to insert the battery here. You got to watch out with these batteries here because you got to look for that plus mark here. You don't want to put it in wrong. All right. Okay. It's even got the screen protector on it yet. Okay. Shouldn't be that sensitive, but I don't know if anybody else has got this particular unit. Maybe they all do it. I don't know. But if you handle it and walk around with it, you know, you're moving it around like this or something, it's okay, I guess. It's just a shock type of thing where, you know, you bang it. If I just put it down like this, well, it jumped up to 53 now, just by doing that. 54. We'll see if it I probably wouldn't trust this thing. As you can see down here, each time the reading goes high, it's in the green right now. But because it was gently dropped on the cloth, and that's not really hard, that's no harder than anybody would put a cell phone down on the table, and it's on this cloth here, so, but you see it hasn't gone back down again. However, turn it off, turn it back on, and unless I tap it, the readings are going to stay low. That's normal background radiation right there. There's a little card that comes with this. That'll tell you what the safe readings are. Now the screen keeps going dark, so I've got to hit the power buttons to bring it back to the full brightness again. It's set for 60 seconds, I believe, before the screen goes completely black. But it still works, it's just that you don't have the screen. And the only way you can get it on is to hit the power button briefly. I'm not sure if hitting any of the other buttons will do that too, but anyways, you can see that it's not going high at all unless it's tapped. So my battery died out, so I think I got all the last clip, the one just before this. But as you can see, it appears to be working. You can see the readings down here, the different modes. And by moving these over, now you're reading in here now, and now you're reading on this scale. But I notice on YouTube they're all using the tester sitting here, which seems to be the most popular setting. But either way, you get all these readings down here anyways. So, you know, you can keep it there and you can look down here and you'll still see the readings in here. Now, some of them by the second. This is by the minute. So that's about it on this. We'll shut it off. And thank you for watching. Got to go charge my battery in my JVC here. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, good day, good morning, good evening, or whatever the case may be.